Everybody wants to slap a tune, coilovers, big brakes, and fresh wheels on their G70 for $3,000. It cannot be done. Anyone selling you all four at this budget is either cutting dangerous corners or forgetting that labor, alignment, shipping, and tax quietly eat 20 to 30% of your money before you touch a single part. So here's the build that actually works, in the exact order that keeps you from torching an $800 tire set. First, why the G70 deserves this at all. It's a rear-wheel drive, Brembo-equipped turbocharged sport sedan that shares its bones with the Kia Stinger and was tuned with input from Albert Biermann, the guy behind BMW's M-Division Golden Era. A clean 2019 to 2021 2.0 T Sport runs $22,000 to $28,000. The 3.3 twin-turbo V6 sits only a few thousand higher. For the money, the chassis is remarkable, and it responds beautifully to smart-focused modification. Buy the sport trim if you can find it. It comes with a limited slip differential, the front Brembos, and factory 18s. That LSD is the whole reason to hunt it down. Without it, the G70 2.0 T underperforms its chassis on corner exit, and every suspension and alignment upgrade you do means less. Buy base without LSD and this build still works. Just manage your expectations when you're pouring on the throttle out of a corner. Now here's the rule nobody wants to hear. Nothing performance happens until maintenance is done. If your G70 has 30 to 65,000 miles and an unknown service history, this is non-negotiable. The Theta II and Lambda 2 engines are documented for oil consumption sensitivity, so run 5W30 full synthetic that meets Hyundai's spec, Mobil 1, Liqui Moly, or Castrol Edge with an OEM filter. That's about $75 to $85. Skip it and you're gambling with rod bearings. Then the cheap insurance. Fresh NGK ILKAR7L11. Iridium spark plugs? $72 to $88 for a set of 4. Pre-gapped, no substitutions. The forums are unanimous. A K&N drop-in filter, part number 335065. About $60 for a modest low-end bump with no tune required. Just clean your MAF sensor after, because K&N's oiled filter has caused MAF issues on other platforms. Prefer safer. The Mishimoto dry drop-in is about $40, and flush that brake fluid with Motul RBF 600, a 421-degree wet boiling point, on a car with Brembos you'll actually use. Here's where your budget actually lives. Maintenance, $200. Wheels, $700 to $900. Tires, $700 to $850 mounted. Suspension, $450 to $600, springs not coilovers. Alignment, $150 to $200. Cosmetics, the last $150. And a contingency of $250 to $350 because real builds always find an unexpected cost. What gets cut? A JB4 tune at $450 to $550 and a big brake kit that starts at $1,200. Neither fits, and neither needs to. Let's talk suspension, because this is where most budget builds die. Do not buy $400 coilovers. BC Racing, Entry Fortunato, the Amazon and eBay specials. On the G70, the story is always the same. Harsh ride, premature damper failure inside 15 to 20,000 miles, and spring rates so inconsistent your alignment won't hold. If you can't afford real coilovers, KW V1 starts around $900, Bilstein B14 around $1,100, then you buy springs. Full stop. The community answer is HANR Sport Springs on your factory dampers. About a 1-inch drop front, just under an inch rear, roughly 1/3 the cost of entry coilovers, and it keeps 70 to 80% of the stock ride comfort. $250 to $310. Verify the part number by year and trim because the 2.0 T and 3.3 have different rates. Eibach Pro Kit is the slightly more conservative alternative, around $220 to $270. And spend the $100 on hard race adjustable end links, because when you lower an inch, factory links bind and eat your sway bar bushings. One warning on labor. Springs are not a driveway job unless you own a spring compressor and know your way around strut assemblies. A shop pulls all 4 corners for $250 to $400. Call it $300 realistic. That's the single biggest labor cost in this build, so plan for it instead of getting surprised at the counter. Now the centerpiece, wheels and tires. Stock Sport runs 18 by 8 with a 225/40. Your target is 18 by 9.5 with a plus 35 to plus 38 offset. Square all around so you can rotate tires. The G70's rear well is tight when lowered, so stay at 9.5 inches max in the rear unless you want to roll and pull fenders on aluminum reinforced quarters, which is a real job. Bolt pattern is 5 by 114.3, hub bore 67.1 millimeters, so you need 73.1 to 67.1 hub-centric rings, $8 to $15. Skip those rings and you'll chase a highway vibration forever. Before you buy anything, go to threepiece.us and search Genesis G70. It aggregates real owner fitment data, actual photos, exact offsets, tire sizes, whether the car's lowered, and whether anybody rubbed. Cross-reference your exact wheel spec there, and you'll save $200 to $400 in return shipping on wheels that don't clear the Brembo calipers or rub the liner. The front Brembos need about 57 millimeters of spoke clearance, so this isn't optional homework. For wheels, my pick is the Koenig Hypergram in 18 by 9.5 plus 35, matte black or bronze, 520 to 640 for a set, and around 16 to 17 pounds. Light, cheap, community confirmed to clear the sport Brembos. The NKRP-F1 is the benchmark at about 18 pounds and 760 to 880 a set. Less dramatic but unmatched performance per dollar. Want to go cheaper? Used Kia Stinger. GT19s, same bolt pattern, 350 to 550 on Marketplace. Want to go crazy? Volk TE 37SL at 1400 plus. But the Koenig leaves the most room for what matters more, the tire. Tires run a 255/535 R18. It fits the 9.5 wheel with a mild 5 to 6% stretch that's totally streetable, and it clears the rear quarter with a 1-inch drop. Go 265 or 275, and the aggressive stretch hurts wet predictability on a daily. The gold standard is Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, 700 to 840 a set, 300 tread wear so they last, and no other tire at this price improves the G70's chassis communication more. Tight on cash. Continental Extreme Contact Sport EO2 at 620 to 740. Track Rat, Falcon Azenis RT660, 200 tread wear, huge grip. And never ever buy used tires on a 300 horsepower rear-wheel drive car with an LSD. Two costs people forget. TPMS sensors, because the G70 runs direct TPMS. Transfer your factory ones with the right valve adapters, or buy Autel MX sensor programmables at 35 to 45 each. And mounting and balancing, 15 to 25 a tire. That's easily $200 hiding in your build. And here's the order that saves you money. Do the wheels and tires first, then the springs, then align the car on the final setup. Align it on stock wheels before a swap and you're paying for alignment twice. Get the sport alignment right. Ask for front camber, -1.5 to -2.0. Rear camber -1.5 to -1.8. Toe, at factory spec, or a touch of rear toe-in for stability. That sharpens turn-in and uses the full contact patch without shredding inner edges in daily driving. Skipping this is the #1 budget build mistake. Lower a car without a proper alignment, and you can consume a $750 tire set in 10,000 miles. The $200 alignment is the cheapest insurance in the whole build. Last dollars go to cosmetics, and here's the ranking. Tint beats everything. 5% rear, 35% front, 180 to 280 at a good shop, and it transforms the car's presence. Debadging the chrome Genesis lettering off the trunk is a $0 to $30 job with a heat gun and adhesive remover, and it instantly looks cleaner. And a $30 to $50 roll of 3M 1080 or Avery vinyl on the mirror. Caps and grille surround kills the factory chrome for pennies. So who's this for? If you want a G70 that looks purpose-built, turns in sharper, rolls 15 to 20% less, and grips harder without wrecking daily comfort or reliability, this is exactly your build. It lands at or under $3,000 with Koenig wheels and Continentals, or pushes to $3,200 to $3,500 if you optimize every line. Who should skip it? Anyone chasing horsepower first. The 252 horse 2.0T wants a JB4 tune at 450 to 550, but only as phase 2, after the maintenance and this foundation are done. Do it in this order and nothing gets wasted. Do it backward and you'll pay twice for everything. Hit threepiece.us for your exact fitment before you order a single wheel and drop your G70 spec in the comments so I can tell you if it'll rub.